Good evening. This is the Elliott Wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021. Well, Santa and his rally limped through another day today and now have reached up into resistance, which I feel should contain this particular move. And I'm starting here on the 4 hours just so that we can see the A wave, the B wave, and what may have to be called the C wave right there. And I'll explain why. I'll just put back the Fibonacci extensions for continuation of this C wave up, C wave for the completion point of minute wave 2. If indeed this is going to be a larger C wave down, consisting of 5 waves of minute degree, here's minute 1. This hopefully will be the completion point of minute 2, which sets us up for a very steep decline starting likely tomorrow. Now, what's the caveat? The caveat would be that Santa's not done. The caveat would be that they come in tomorrow morning or overnight and just continue to push and push and push and push and get up and above 16,456. Now, it's not like this is just happening on a consistent basis. There were many sellers within the NASDAQ today. They push it up and they get pushed back down. They push it up and they get pushed back down. So it's a select group of stocks once again. So I'm beginning to lean more on tomorrow is the weekly expiration. Since Friday is a holiday, tomorrow ends the week and is going to end with an expiration. That expiration saw today another big push back into Tesla. Tesla's finishing the day, it's on the bell, was up 70. They pushed it up an additional 4, so it's up about $74, $75 today. And this is after knocking it down yesterday below 900. So they pushed back in today. They pushed right back into that stock. If we go and we look at the calls, they are placing their bets all over again. And it looks like it might be for tomorrow's expiration. So it starts to get a little bit crazy again when we've got certain groups and certain stocks that are just being chosen and manipulated in one direction or another. It does have a great effect on our index, and that doesn't portend well, but yet again, it just continues to happen. So let's take a look at what we've got going on today. We're back above 1,000. So they were, for some reason, already thinking 1150. I'm not sure why. But the big numbers are right down at 1,100. So would literally, if it goes up another $70 tomorrow or $80 tomorrow, we're there. We're at 1,100. Could it do it? Sure can. They certainly can push. But let's go down and take a look at what really was trading today. And then we're going to come down to the 1,000, 159,663 calls. December 1,000 calls that expire tomorrow, traded. And 30 million shares of stock traded. So it's going to be interesting because that's a pretty high number. And that kind of spells to me, this is where they want to take the stock out tomorrow, at least 1,000. If not, they're going to push probably, here we have the 1,010, 1015, 1020, 1025, 1030, up to the 1050s, which, hey, got $70 today, what's 50 tomorrow? And so this move can happen. And it really not single-handedly contributed most to the rise in the NASDAQ today, but it has a high pull because of its weighting in the NASDAQ. And it also has a high pull in the S&P because of its weighting in the S&P. So while this is going on, it seems to really work against the larger count. It doesn't mean that the larger count is invalid. I mean, it may negate it for right now, but whatever continues to happen, I think that the underlying message that I really want to deliver, we need to play this day by day. because the large correction is out there. And when you've got just about everybody really going in favor of, we're looking for a big drop, we're looking for a big drop, it rarely will happen. And so I think that's coming into play as well. And so, but I think when it does, it's going to, again, be a shock to the market because there will be no choice. And maybe that shock comes tomorrow. They seem to like the GDP figures today. Tomorrow, we've got another large slew of figures coming out, economic, because Friday is a holiday. And actually Monday, the markets are closed too. Globex will be open. So Globex will reopen on Sunday and Globex will again reopen on Monday. It's just that the regular session, there isn't. So the markets themselves will be closed on Monday. Globex will be opened and Globex closes at, I believe, 11 Eastern. If I'm not I believe that's correct. So you will have the ability to trade Sunday afternoon in Globex all the way until, I believe, I think it comes in at 8:30 on Monday. I'm not sure. Please check with the exchanges to confirm that if you're choosing to trade. Now, what took place today? Like I said, Santa kept limping through and managed to push up all the indexes. And the NASDAQ once again started by a quick trip down, which lent credibility to, okay, this ABC is done, but didn't hold. And the buyers move back in and then they just don't stop. They continue to buy and buy and buy and buy. Now, again, this is the 4-hour chart, so you're not going to get many bars, but I wanted to show how compact this is and not really kind of getting anywhere. So it's almost right now as if we're in a box controlled by this high and that low, but we dipped just slightly below it, but now we're back way above it. Now, what could happen tomorrow? We still might see some additional buying. We have additional resistance at 16,185. We're sitting just below it right now. And then we have nothing, basically, until next resistance at 16,285. And if it goes above that, then we don't have anything until 16,415. We might have some price resistance at 344. We might have additional price resistance at 323. So, about 11-point range there for resistance. But what this small wave 2 cannot do, it cannot exceed 16,456. If it goes to 57, 58, I literally, depending on how it does it, I'm so inclined to just say, nope, it's not a second wave. It's not a first wave. And here's the alternate that immediately came to my mind. A, B, C. And C comes in very, very shallow. But it did produce 5 waves down. So 5 waves down could be a C wave, in which case, then I would label it as intermediate wave A. And now we're off starting in the B wave. And the B wave would be expected to go back above there. But the B wave could even go above there if it needed to, if it wanted to, and it could be an irregular B wave. But right now, I'm going to continue to give a little bit of benefit of the doubt to the market that Santa will be done, or possibly tomorrow we'll see the sellers come back in as they begin to make their adjustments to portfolios, to hedge funds, and to all of the managers coming in and making their adjustments as we continue to plot our way towards year end. Again, tomorrow is an expiration. So we have Apple in play again. The 170s, 175, 180 back in play again. We have Amazon still in play, just not as powerful as we've seen in the past. We have Facebook, probably at 330 to 335. It's in play. Google, not as strong, but it did pop again. It's now well back above 2,900. And so we could be heading to 2,950 and maybe even higher than that if they continue to push. We have Microsoft back in play. Microsoft up strongly today. And again, heavy hitter in the NASDAQ and also in the S&P and also in the Dow. So it's in all the three indexes that we track here. And it was up almost $6 today. So is it going to be heading towards 330 or 335? So let's go take a quick look. Again, this is what I do when I'm getting close to expiration. I want to go see what are they aiming for? What are they heading for? And here we have 332s, 25,000, 27,000 of the 330s, 335s, 16,600. So not so much on the put side, all seeming to be on the call side. So, but I'm going to look towards this 332 down to 330. And if they may just hold it there. You know, there's the larger players, that's what they want, they can get it. And so it could be held there. So we could have a very nothing day tomorrow, or we could have a day that inches higher tomorrow, or we could have what I might consider a blowout tomorrow, and that they just kind of come in and they start to sell. And that'll upset everybody's apple cart. But again, I don't have any leanings either way, other than if this wave 2 is done, then the market would be expected to turn, start again to break below. But here we see the 4 made it above the hourly, excuse me, the 4-hour 200. Now I'm going to drop this back down to the hourly chart. We can see some of the inside, the internals in this thing. So in this, here was A, here was B, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So today we did come down initially. That put in the completion point for small wave 2. Then we rallied strongly. Then we dropped with some strength. So it was the 4, the 3, the 4, and now we've completed the 5th. So what's left? An extension within the 5th wave. So here's what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. I think that we should be holding well below 16,285. But we need to allow for a continued rally up to those levels. I've already gone ahead and labeled wave C and 2 as complete because I'm feeling pretty strongly that, well, I got the first 5, then I got a 3-wave decline, and then I got a second stronger 5. So I'm thinking that we should be done. To be honest with you, I'm thinking we should be done here. So this is 3, here's the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's the other 5. And the 1 and 2 are inside here, but they are there. And so I've been able to count out 5 waves from that low to the upside, mark it as wave C and call it done. Here's the alternative. The alternate would be that this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Still would be needing a pullback. But how far it dips down, if it doesn't get any further than 16,040, well, then we're likely, this is going to turn into a 5-wave structure. This turns into intermediate wave A, and we're off to the races in B wave. So lots can be happening. We're sitting in the middle. It's very inconclusive. So my recommendations remain: trade what is in front of you. Trade according to what the moving averages are telling you. The moving averages continue to work, folks. They continue to, come on, go back over to this one. You can see when they are all in alignment, they just go in one direction. They are all in alignment to go up. So a lot, then this is a 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart was actually, it's pretty lined up this morning even, but it looked like it would come down and maybe back to that level, and it just didn't. Now we got the 15-minute 200 rising pretty sharply, the 50 rising very sharply. So it doesn't really appear that we're going to get much of a decline. Now again, these can change. If the Asian markets and the European markets come in and they just decide, nope, enough is enough, and they start selling, then these will follow suit. But it has to, at first, of course, break below that 50, produce some acceleration, break below that 200, produce another round of acceleration. This can happen. We've seen it in the past, but right now it's not looking that way. They continue to just walk and walk as we approach the 2 p.m. Pacific time, the close. So they've got this last hour, one between 4 and 5 Eastern, to come in and just keep buying or adjust their positions or do whatever they believe they need to do. And they are. They're just popping higher, popping higher, popping higher. So going back to my other chart, the moving averages, the 50 on the hourly is still below the 200. But of note, this 20 popped above. And then look what we got. When it came down, it started to break above here. But when it finally did break, look at what happened. A massive push came in right at that time. And that was early. That was at 10 a.m. Eastern. That was that bar. And as soon as it broke, the buyers poured in. That was their signal. And it stayed now at a pretty steep angle moving higher. The 200 still just barely giving a little nudge here. And the 50, it's rising, but it needs to cross that. If it crosses that, then I do think that 16,400 will be broken because it'll produce another strong push. And Santa's rally could go on tomorrow as well. It literally is the day before the Christmas holiday begins. Okay, so be sure, please trade what's in front of you, trade according to what your moving averages are telling you. Do not attempt to pick a top or for that matter, a bottom. Use the price action, use the moving averages, use the Fibonacci, use the Elliott, use all of the tools that are available to you so that you can make good trading decisions. Moving averages during the day are key, big key to going in, getting out, staying in, looking at things a little bit differently. So I'm going to leave it there. Now, the markets are closed on Friday. So our next update, I will make an update on Sunday, even though the markets, the general session for the United States is closed on Monday. But Globex will be open on Sunday, and then Globex will open again on Monday. So I will make an update on how Globex opens on Sunday so that we're more prepared for Monday and then Tuesday. And so I'm going to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and be safe and have a great trading day tomorrow. If you choose to trade Globex beyond our regular session tomorrow, be careful, trade well. Again, keep your moving averages in mind. Have a great holiday. Next update will be on Sunday, December 26th.